Hi there, it's Sam from Neigh's Knits and this is episode 6 and I'm in summer mood. Yes, it's not summery today, but it has been summery. I've been on the beach during my mental health break. If you're not aware, don't follow me on Instagram. I had 2 weeks off just for like easing my brain a bit. As you probably know if you've watched other podcasts, I've had a bit on, so yeah, it was needed. So I went to the beach last weekend and the one word to describe it was sandblasted, I would say. It was lovely and sunny. The wonderful thing about where I live is in the town it can be the most beautiful day in the world, but when you get down onto the beach it can be a completely different story, and every year I fall for this. So we got ourselves some picnicky bits and I took my knitting and my book and everything, and we had a windbreak because, you know, you got to have a windbreak in the UK. And whew, there was one point when I was biting into a sausage roll and the wind just went whew, and I just had a whole face full of sand. So I might give it a couple more weeks before I attempt my second picnic by the sea, because you only eat sand once and then you remember. Don't do it again. So yeah, today's a bit cloudy by the looks of it, so sorry if the lighting's a bit shit, but you know, I live in the UK. Everyone's been moaning, like when I've been watching gardening programs. I love my gardening. Everyone's been moaning about the weather, saying how cold it is and how rainy it is. But I live in the driest part of the UK and I would love some rain. If you want to send it my way, you know, my garden needs it, because I don't think it's rained in like 2 weeks. So I don't know where this rain is. I'm guessing the west. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a bit crispy around here, but that's normal. Last year we had like a drought, so 40-degree weather. Yeah, when you live in the UK you don't want that. Anyway, let's talk about knitting. Knitting. First things first, the Navelli. Now the Navelli is a great pattern. I love this pattern, but it's been a saga. Let me just say that. It's been like a 3-parter saga, literally. Not because of the pattern's fault, because of my fault. My yarn choices, my size choices. Actually, that one is a little bit the pattern's fault, but you know. And then me not reading the pattern properly when I moved on. So let's get into it, shall we? So the first one I knit of the Navelli. Now, bearing in mind, I have done the colour work 3 times. Now, I've really enjoyed colour work, but I need a break from colour work, you know. I've done it 3 times. Bearing in mind, it's only about that much, but, you know, it takes some time, you know, and some concentration, which my brain fog does not help with. And, yeah, so first one I knit, I did my measurements. I did it properly, which I'd never normally do. I just normally go, right, I'm going to choose like either size 2 or size 3, depending on what kind of fit I want. That's normally what I do. I didn't do that this time. I measured myself and it said size 1. I was like, okay. So I did it. And let me put it this way. If I was knitting it for a 7-year-old, it would have been fine. It did not fit. It did not fit. And I was doing the colour work. I was like, maybe it just stretches, you know, and I was having a bad time. So I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. I was just enjoying knitting. So I was just knitting away. And I was looking at it going, oh, it's a bit small, but not really paying it much attention until I got onto like the main colour. And then I was just like, hang on a minute. Will this actually fit me? Because it's bottom up, I should say. It's not top up, it's bottom up working. You can't try it on while you're doing it, so it's kind of a bit of a go from the measurements. Yeah, that would fit my cat, so I frogged that after much swearing. I was really pleased with it, but you know, I frogged it. So then I didn't bother measuring. I thought, I'm going to knit a size 3, which was a good idea in theory, because if size 1 is like this big, then size 3 isn't going to be that much bigger, really, is it? It's going to be a bit of a, it was literally this big, like, you know. So I thought size 3 with, you know. So I started knitting size 3. This is size 3 here. I kept this one. I didn't frog this one. And it was going all right. I wasn't enjoying the 1x1 rib. I'm not a 1x1 rib fan. I find it just does, it looks a bit baggy. So it's probably the way I knit, but I'm just not a fan of 1x1 rib. And so I wasn't pleased with that, and it kind of flares a bit, you know. You see, it just looked a bit, I know it will block better, but you know, I wasn't happy about that. And I was doing the colour work. So the wool I've used here is Adventures in Yarncraft Undyed Luxe sock. I love this yarn, it's so soft. Then the next one, I have got a mini skein of Foxes at Midnight. I think this colour was, I've got to check my notes. I did write down notes, but I forgot to write down all the individual Foxes at Midnight colours, which would have been very useful, and I don't think I've actually got it here. It's their dark blue one. I think it's Midnight or Moonlight or something like that. Anyway, balls. I know I've got it written down somewhere. I had it on this notepad. I've obviously mislaid that one page, which is really useful. Anyway, I used that yarn for the colour work. I will tag it because I'm allowed to tag now. So I'll tag everything down below. Yeah, so it's a really beautiful blue. It's like, yeah. So I had in the last podcast, I was talking about trying to match this colour to a colour work colour. So I spent quite a while looking for different colours, and I settled on that. And I thought they went really beautifully because it picks up a little bit of the blue that's in this, which is Pigment and Ply, Hylas and the Nymphs, if you're new here. If you're not new here, you're probably sick of me talking about this yarn. But that's what that looks like. So it has lots of different colours. It oh, you can see a bit of the blue there. Oh God, my nails. Sorry, I didn't think about taking my nail varnish off before I got here. Yeah, so, and this is the Luxe Socks Undyed. If you're looking for a cream yarn, that one. Yeah, so I started knitting it, and I did get further. I've pulled it back. I wasn't happy with the combination of yarn because this is a Mohair Merino blend, and I think it's just a little bit thinner gauge. And I did do a swatch. I did a swatch, and it worked. And it worked lovely with the undyed yarn. It's just by itself, it started to go really baggy, and I wasn't happy with it. So I frogged it back, and I'm gonna put some more ribbon on when I can bear to, and I'm gonna have it as a cowl. I thought it might make a nice cowl, you know, might do. So, because I didn't want to, this is my first bit of colour work. Also, if you're very eagle-eyed, you can see I played Yarn Chicken because it was a mini skein, 20 grams. And for size 1, you get lots left over. So I thought, it's fine, I'll use it. I ran out with 2 rows to go. So I just started the Pigment and Ply early, which I quite like. You know, if it's going to be a cowl, I don't care now. But I was just like, oh, sod it. I did look on the website beforehand, and they didn't have any in stock. So I just decided, okay, Pigment and Ply. But I think it's back in stock now. So if you're looking for a really nice moody colour blue with a bit of, I don't know, what kind of, it's kind of navy, but more grey, if that makes sense. That kind of, I suppose it's similar to this. Yeah, so that was attempt 2. Now I thought it was a bit baggy, so I went down a size. I'm a fucking knob. Anyway, I am now on attempt number 3. Now I changed my colours completely because I decided to make that a cow. I've changed it completely. And if you watched last week's episode, you would have seen that, well, not last week, the last episode, you would have seen that I had received a Camels yarn set here, the Merry Maidens Luxe sock set, and I looked at the measurements and stuff and I was like, yeah, that might work. Now the reason why I've got another one is because I've learnt from Yarn Chicken, so I purchased another one just in case. So I will show you what I've done. Oh shit, it's come off the needles. Hang on. Is there anything more annoying? Luckily, it was only 2 stitches. Right, so here is this beauty. I'm really pleased with this yarn. Really pleased. So, I've got the mini skein, the little dude here. I've got the Undyed as the other colour work. So I think that's worked out really nice. It's quite spring-like. It reminds me of the hedgerows in the UK in spring with the colours. Ooh, there we go, hello. Right, the green is not coming out great because it's not a true green. If you imagine new leaves, that bright zingy green, really nice green, that's what it is. But let's see if I can get it a bit. Oh, that's a bit better. Ooh, come on, do your colour thing. There you go. You can just about get it. Ooh. Yeah, so it's lots of light blues, appley greens. There's a little bit of dark green in there as well, as you can see. But oh, there, you can see it a bit better there. And then you've got the same kind of blue and then a little bit of cream as well. So yeah, so this is my springtime Navelli. This is size 2. I think it's the right size, but I've given up caring. Hopefully it will fit me. I don't know. Because I can't try it on. Yeah, I have also frogged this a little bit as well because I didn't read the pattern. Caitlin did advise that you may want to go for a smaller gauge needle for when you go onto the stockinette, and I didn't read it. I didn't think about it. And then I started doing it and it went baggy. And I was like, oh. And I carried on like you do, thinking, oh, it doesn't matter, it's fine. And then I was just like, and I frogged it back to the colour work and then reknit. So yeah, so I'm really pleased with this. I'm very happy. My colour work on take 3 is really nice. I'm enjoying it. And yeah, the only thing I'd say is maybe I shouldn't have chosen a skein that has cream in it as well in the main skein, but and then this would have popped a little bit more. But you know, I'm really happy, and yeah, I should split for sleeves soon. One of my friends did mention that it can be a bit tricky around the neck. There's like some German short rows that they're not sure why they're there, and it takes a lot of rereading, so I'll probably be messaging her and going, what do I do? But yeah, so fingers crossed. It's gonna let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm really loving this pattern, even though I have knitted it probably about 4 times over now. But yeah, I'm really happy. Yeah, so if you're knitting size 2 or size 1, you only need a 20 grams mini skein to do the Colourwork 3, which is quite good. And I've used one skein for this, and I'm just about, I'd say about quarter way through the skein of this one. So I will let you know what it totals up to, but I know that that's lucky for us who use the smaller ones. But just to give an idea of how much yarn it actually uses, it'd be quite good if you are a smaller size that you don't actually need that much yarn. You know, it's a nice cheap pattern to run up. So yeah, I think the combination of these, this was £11, and I think this was 20, 22, something like that. So, you know, using luxury hand dyed yarn, I think that's quite a nice cheap make if you're a smaller size. Yeah, so I am very happy with that, and I will continue. But yeah, so whilst I was knitting, I ripped back again. I decided I needed a little break, and I cast something else on. I'm really happy about this. I'm also a bit stupid because I have had the yarn in question for, well, since my first podcast probably. It's a woolly knit cone, but I have been looking, I have been looking at this pattern for months and I've been wanting to knit it, and I've been looking for the perfect yarn. Now it's quite a big shawl, and I was just like, well, if I get hand dyed, I'm gonna need to sell a kidney, as you do, and I wasn't sure my husband was ready for me to make that commitment. So I was like, right, what yarn will do this justice? And I was racking my brain, and I've been looking at this cone for months, wondering what I'm going to knit with it. I've been swatching it. I swatched it for the Navelli, I swatched it for other things, and had no idea what to use it for. Like, it's beautiful yarn, but I had no idea. And then last week it clicked in my head, and I was like, you are a complete and utter muppet. You know, why have you not connected the dots? So, let me get it out of the bag. I haven't done too much yet because I've printed out the pattern and my printer is upstairs, and I haven't been upstairs in a little while and I keep forgetting to get it. So I have stopped before I got to the cable because, you know, it'll take me a couple of spoons to get upstairs. So, you know, I will go and get it because I want to carry it on. So the pattern is the Golden Hall Shawl. By Nicole Larkin-York, the Common Thread podcaster. You'll find her on Instagram as Common Thread Fibre as well. Hello, Nicole. Yeah, so I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. So is my husband, and yeah, and I also live in the winter. The wind here is horrific. We are known for how windy it can be. We have a joke with the locals where it's like, oh, it's actually not windy today. What's going on? It's really strange. So, you know, and in the winter it can be a bit say brisk, but I would say, yeah, it's like being hit by a wall of ice. So I need something when I'm in my wheelchair that's going to keep me warm, it's going to keep the wind away, and I can use it either wrapped up as a shawl or as a blanket. I need a multi-use kind of thing. And I thought this pattern itself would be fantastic. And it is beautiful. Yeah, I'm hoping I can use it on hot, balmy nights like this. Or yeah, when it's really brutal and I need a bit of protection. It's also very I think so. I believe that when Nicole designed this shawl, she was suffering a little bit with anxiety, and she wanted something that would protect her, like an armor, something comforting. And I think that would be really good as a wheelchair user, because it can protect me from all the shitty jokes, shitty comments, and just like whenever ever anyone comes up to me and goes, "Oh, why are you in a wheelchair? Your leg moved," I can just go and hide behind my shawl. So that is the plan. And I'm all for it. So yeah, so this is my swatch. It is it's my first time doing seed stitch, not sweet stitch. Sorry, brain frog. It's really pretty. Ignore that one. I made a mistake there. But it's really pretty. And as you can see, it does have that reminiscence of, oh, so squishy. Okay. Yeah. So, oh, I forgot to say what the yarn colour was. Okay. So this is called Inca Gold by Woolly Knit. It's a merino. It is quite toothy for a merino. So it's not the most squishiest merino in the world. But I thought it'd be really good for this shawl, because it will be long lasting and the colour is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I am knitting that. Now I have learnt a new technique which I love. This is why I do this pattern is completely out of my league. Like I am punching with this pattern. It is beautiful, and I am an advanced beginner. I'm probably getting towards the intermediate now. Now I'm learning colour work and stuff like that. But like the reason I choose is so I can learn from them, and I learn new techniques. Like with this, I've learned colour work. You know, never done colour work before. Now I love it. You know, with this one, I didn't realise that shawls are a completely different way of different techniques. I had no idea. Like, I did a garter tab, and I just thought I could just cast on. Ignorant, sweet summer child. But I learned how to do a garter tab. Now, I thought I knew. I was just like, oh, I just do this. No, you don't just do this. You follow the link in the pattern to learn how to do a garter tab, because you do not know how to do a garter tab. And I've done a garter tab. Look, it's got a little ribby bit as well. And yeah, so I've got to the point where I've split for seed stitch and cables. And yeah, I'm not going to show you my markers because, you know, ladies got to make money. Yeah, so I have got my collar ready, and then it's just going to expand. Yeah, so if I can do it, you could do it, you know. If you have a little bit of skill set, then, you know. So that's where I'm at with that. There's probably like a bajillion mistakes in here, but I did do it 3 times, so this is the better attempt. Yeah. Cable wise, I did do a little bit of cabling with that V-neck jumper that I tried doing, which I wasn't happy with. I did do a little bit of basic cabling on there, so, you know, it's not completely brand new, but I'm hoping by the time I get to the outside cables, I'm going to be okay. But yeah, it's just learning to read the patterns as well. Like, can't believe I'm admitting this. But the first gun, I have ripped this back a little bit because, yeah, silly old me saw P1, and instead of doing pearl one, I did long pearl. I was wondering, like, how am I going to fill these holes in? I don't get it, but I trust Nicole. And then I got halfway, I got to the cable bit, and I was like, it's freaking pearl. So yeah, yeah, I ripped back, and you know, you gotta love brain fog, because sometimes you read something and you just see something completely different. So yeah, so to clear my mind from this, I did a garter tab. You know, why can't I choose something just plain stockinette? I tell you, it's really really, but I'm really looking forward to this. I'm also not doing very well with my summer patterns. If you notice, like I'm like trying to prepare for winter. I've gone into hibernation mode on my knitting because I want to have stuff ready for when it gets cold. So really I should be starting my summer knits in January. And I know that I've got quite a lot planned knitting wise in autumn with all the advents and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm like, I want to make sure that I've got my protection from the winter like ready. Golden Hall Shawl. It's based on the Golden Hall of Lord of the Rings. Rohan. So remember the sea. Move that back here. There we go. Yeah, so it's based on the Golden Hall, which is Theoden's, where his throne is, you know, where you got Wormtongue and Sauron controlling his brain, but then he gets all better and it's like, woo. So yeah, so that's what the Golden Hall Shawl is based on. So Nicole is making a pattern currently. She's designing a pattern called I Am No Man, based on Éowyn and that famous scene. I will not spoil it if you've never seen Lord of the Rings, but if you haven't seen Lord of the Rings or read Lord of the Rings, you really should do that. But it's based on Éowyn, and yeah, I can't wait to knit that. That's gonna, the samples and the yarn choice. Oh my goodness, the yarn choice. I think it's leather by something cat yarns, little cat yarns. Something like that. Oh, brain. But it's a new colourway that's coming out purely for that, to go with that pattern. So I wonder if I can get it in the UK. I'm going to look. I'm going to look, because that might have to be a... Because I don't... It could be knit in lots of different colour yarns, but oh, I love that burgundy. So yeah, very happy with what knitting I'm doing. Everything else that I've shown you whip wise, I've kind of gone off the boil with. I probably will finish the strata vest, but this has been taking all my time, and it's not warm enough for me to want the strata vest, so I really do need to do it, because otherwise it won't get worn. But I have got the other strata vest, so it's not too much of a stress. Diaphanous raglan, I haven't looked at, to be honest. I think I'm going to park that one for a little bit. Not because I'm not enjoying making it, it's just, it's a bit fiddly, and I've got enough fiddly stuff going on, and it is beautiful and I love that yarn, but yeah, I've parked it, and I'm not quite sure why I've parked it. Maybe it is a frog, I don't know. But I do love it. I don't... what do you do when you cast something on and you just... I don't know what it is that I'm not feeling. Maybe I just need to make a raglan out of the yarn and just make it, because I love the yarn. The yarn is incredible. I'm just not finding a pattern. So maybe I just need to find a good raglan something and just knit stockinette with it, because I'm so focused on making something special with that yarn that the patterns are not quite right for me. You know what I mean? Maybe. we'll see. Okay, so next. Right, so the next thing I want to cast on, which I'm very eager to do, and I am showing some restraint at the moment, but I'm not sure how long that's going to last. As soon as I saw this pattern, I wanted it. And again, it would be perfect for autumn. So I need to do it. It's called Neigh by Caitlin Hunter, another Caitlin Hunter pattern. And I love this pattern and I've wanted to knit it since I saw it. And I think that's what I need to do. Instead of looking for things, I'm just gonna buy the yarn when I like it and I'm gonna match it to the pattern that I like it. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I am very much drawn to things. So, and if I'm not completely drawn to something, even if I like it, if I haven't got that tug, you know, it's not going to happen. I've learned that about myself since doing this podcast, because I love to frog. So yeah, Caitlin Hunter's Neigh, I really want to knit, especially after they shared the inspiration for the jumper, which was probably a joke, but I love Lubelin so much. Like, my husband and I sing his little, he does lots on TikTok and Instagram. He does these, he gets conversations from the internet and turns them into songs. And there's one about the horse that I have stuck in my head constantly. Apparently, Caitlin Hunter feels the same. I will put a link. But I've constantly at the moment, especially since she linked it to the pattern, I've got I've got it it's going around in a little loop and it's driving me crazy. And I'm probably going to be like that whilst knitting the jumper as well. So I've started working out what yarns I want to use, and currently I'm thinking of using the Autumn Nights that I showed you the other day by Quack. So it's like a dark berry brown rusty colour. It's beautiful. So I'm thinking of maybe using this for the ribbing. And then I'm going to use the Foxes by Midnight for the crosses down the yarn. So excuse, I've started getting them ready for doing that, because I'm going to have to hold these double. So I've started splitting them up. So started splitting them up, so I've got like 10 grams in each thing, so it's ready. This I'll also have to hold double. Yeah, so the Foxes of Midnight, I think this one's a 100 Acre Wood. This one is Foxy. This one is something to do with the planet, I think, or is it? I need to find that piece of paper because it's really annoying me. And these two, I think this one's the Planet World one, and then this one, I can't remember. But it's the Foxes by Midnight mini pack, and I will link that, and then all the individual skeins. So, you know, you all have the names down below, but in my brain they are not. And then I'm thinking, so these are Merino. So I have made a purchase, and I'm I don't know if it won't go, I don't think. Let's ignore that. No, it's not going to go, don't worry. I did make a purchase for yarn, and it was going to either be for the horse or I was going to make some really cozy socks with it. So I'm probably going to do cozy socks because it's not quite working tonally. It works really well with this, but it doesn't work well with it. No. So yeah. So I've done my gauge of the berries and not berries, autumn nights Oh, you can really see the colours on it. Yeah. So I need to figure out my main colour, which I'm probably going to do drops alpaca, I'm thinking. Needs to be DK weight, and yeah, it's a lot of yarn. So I'm thinking of just going for a natural alpaca colour that goes with these. And then I'm thinking I need to think of a horse colour. Now it needs to be a good horse colour. I think it's going to have to be brown or a different kind of rusty colour. I have seen a few on Nervous Fibre, so I might have a look on there. And yeah, so that is my idea for Neigh, and that will be cast on soon. I'm just planning. Oh, I did a little colour work try with 100 Acre Wood. Look at the little speckles. Sorry again with the nails. I am terrible. I don't know why I put nail varnish on, because I hardly ever do it, and then yeah, I never take. I don't actually know where my nail varnish remover is. I've seen it, couldn't tell you where it is, so I need to find it. My house is chaos at the moment, so this is probably the last time for a while that I'll be filming in this location. We have the family member moving in with us for a little bit, so and they'll be staying in this room, so I would need to find a new filming location, and all the rooms in my house are now moving around. Yeah, so we moved into this room ourselves as a main bedroom when I had my operation, so I could be on one level. So it's a downstairs room and it's near the kitchen. My husband doesn't have to worry about me falling when he's away and stuff like that. But now I'm a bit more stable on my feet. We're going to move it back up. We were going to do that all along, but then this room is going to be the room for my family members, so they're safe and secure, and it's got lots of room, and you know, they're comfortable. Just remembered I need to change the door because it's glass. That would not be fun. Yeah, so I've got to do that this weekend. So there's a few things that need to happen in the house. So I'm hoping next week that I'll get a podcast out as well, but we're having a significant life change next week, so you know, bear with me. Yeah, so we've got to move our main bedroom upstairs and move the guest bedroom downstairs, and yeah, we've got to get it done in 3 days. So but I'm really looking forward to having them here. They've been in hospital for about 2 months, and yeah, they need to be home, and we're really looking forward to it. Just not looking forward to all the moving around stuff and cleaning. We are partway. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, so we have been doing stuff. It's just we haven't done as much as we should have done, because we literally got told this morning that it could be Monday, so luckily my husband's on half term, so it's fine. Yeah, I can see him swearing at me this week. Yeah, so what next? I didn't think I had that much to talk about today, but I'm on 39 minutes, so okay, it might be a long one, because yeah. So let me know what you think about the old Neigh, and if you are knitting the Neigh, and also if you're knitting any of the other ones like Golden Hall or Navelli. That'd be interesting to see. So I'm putting everything in the bag just so I don't lose it. These are handy things, aren't they? Not the most eco-friendly, but oh, they keep the moths at bay. Oh, that reminds me, I have made a purchase of a project bag. I don't know where little man is. He hasn't come to say hello yet. He's obviously having a good sleep. But in honour of Poppet and Kitty Puss, I have a new project bag that I could have gone sensible, but I decided to go for cats in mittens. I thought Poppet would appreciate. And if you have boy cats, if it has a cat on it, maybe he won't destroy it, you know? Maybe be less inclined to do boy cat things on it. Yeah, so I don't think my husband stirred the tea. Oh gosh. I love you. Oh, that's sugary. Liquid sustenance. Okay. I got an acquisition. I have been good, she says. It's been a couple of weeks, hasn't it? So obviously I did order a new one of these, but I know I'll reuse that on something else if needs be, because it's a beautiful colourway and it's one of my favourites. You know, it really does remind me of spring. So my next one, I did just show you, but I will talk about it properly now, is Neves Fibre. This colourway is called Gloam. It is basically the colour of my cat Poppet. Hopefully he'll arrive soon so we can compare the colours. But I did that yesterday. I was like, come here. Oh yeah, it's exactly the same colour as you. Does anybody else do that? Like, I've brought a sofa before with a chair, and they're both different colours. But then as soon as they arrive, we realised we matched our sofa colours to our cat. Completely not by choice. But it works well with cat hair, you know, you don't see it, so it's fine. Yeah, so this is Gloam, and I've got it in an alpaca cashmere silk blend. So it's 70% alpaca, 20% cashmere and 10% silk. It's finger and weight, 400 meters, hand dyed in Glasgow in Scotland. And I ordered this because, one, I wanted an option for horses, and two, don't know what two is, I brought this originally to make socks out of, and I was like, I can't make socks out of this. And then I was like, my feet are always cold just because I don't move around very much. So if you don't know, as a wheelchair user, you do feel the cold more because you're not moving your body as much, which would then heat up your body and the blood would warm up your body and stuff like that. So we get cold. Even in the summer, we get cold. Hence why I want the Golden Hall Shawl, and I want some cozy socks just for inside. Well, I suppose I can wear them outside as well. But I want some super fluffy, super cozy socks. And I've never had a fancy pair of bed socks, cashmere type things. I thought this would be beautiful. I love the colour as well. I'm like, oh, I really want to make a jumper out of this too. But I think I'm going to make myself some socks because I really want to. So I'm going to order some Chalgu needles, and I'm going to give it a whirl because I can't do magic loop. We've discussed this before. Magic loop is not my friend. So I'm going to get some Chalgus, and yeah. And I really love this company. So they're called Neves Fibre. And reading the blurb, they're very mental health focused, and the person who owns the company from anxiety and making the dyeing and making the yarn gives them focus. And when you have anxiety, it's good to have something that's meditative and repetitive. That's why I love knitting. It really helps me clear my brain, and I think dyeing wool is the same for this person. They also do a sadvent, so if you're not keen on doing advent, or you like getting advents and things like that, they do a sadvent which you get in January, and it's yarn that is uplift, like it celebrates the whole January blues and all that kind of thing, and you know, it gives you something to focus on in January, which I think is a really nice idea. And if I hadn't got a few advents on the way, I'd probably do it as well. So yeah, but I really love this base. It's really soft and squishy, and a jumper would be lovely out of this as well. And I didn't think it was a bad price for the material. So yeah, and I've seen a few other colourways of theirs, which I'm really loving. Buttered, that was one of my contenders for the Golden Hall Shawl. And also there was one called Candor. Some really lovely yarn colour choices, and yeah, they're very interesting yarn colour choices, and I think I just heard a poppet. I heard him get out of his bed. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking to see if he's coming, but I'm not sure. Poppet? Yeah. So yeah. Here he comes. Hello. You come in. You come in. You come and say hello. Come on in. Yeah, Barbara. Yeah. Come on in. Up, up. You coming up, up. Up, up. There he is. Hello, little man. You had a nice sleep. You've been licking, haven't you? Yes. Oh, there he's gone. Yeah, his name is Poppet, but he has many names. Don't you? You good boy. Oh, I forgot to match. We need to match you. You come here so I can match. You like this one, don't you? He is like completely different to my other cat, who loved knitting. She would actively play with the yarn and do her own knitting whilst I knitted. I had to give her her own yarn. Whereas this one isn't bothered at all, are you? You'd rather just sit on it whilst it's just laying there. I think you'd rather have a blanket. Does anyone know of a good cat blanket? Yes, he is that spoilt, but he is part Siamese, so he has to be that spoilt, otherwise he would torture you. He's such a good boy, but whew, we're doing all right now, aren't we? Well, we were a bit sad last time because we'd just lost Kitty, but yeah, we're okay. It's very quiet now. He has changed cat completely, which is so strange. He's become very cuddly and he's not as vocal. He used to shout lots. Like Siamese cats, they shout. He can say hello. Like the first time he did it, it freaked the out of me. But apparently it's a Siamese thing. He can go, hello. He's not going to do it for you. But he used to be really chatty. And now he's quite quiet, but he's cuddly and he just wants to be near me. Which before he was quite a loner cat. But yeah. So he's definitely feeling it, but you know, it's nice to see his little personality changing as well, because he's on anxiety meds. It's a bit of a mental health thing, this one. Yeah, but he's on anxiety meds because he's always been a very anxious cat. So yeah. He's a good boy though. Okay, what else have I brought? Yeah, I brought the bag, I brought the wool. Oh, I got a Lane magazine. This is my first Lane magazine actually. Was it Line or Lane? Lane? Like if you read it as English, it is Line. Yeah, so I ordered this from a Modern Yarn link. Yes, so I thought they're normally out of stock when I try and get them, or people have stopped stocking them because they're quite expensive to get in now because of Brexit. Thank you, Conservative bastards. And sorry, my politics slipped out. And yeah, so I'm enjoying reading that at the moment. Some lovely patterns in there. Where's one? I really love this, like the seashell vest, which is it called seashell vest? Yeah, it's called Seashell by Mary Regnier. Really cute. So that might need to be made for the summer. What else? It's like a pretty lacework cardigan that might need to be made. There's some really nice stuff in here, so I do need to start getting it a bit more regularly. But that's a nice cozy knit as well by Veronica Lindberg. Yeah, so I'm quite pleased with that. I'll definitely pick that up again. Like, I do love these magazines, but they're the price of a book, so you do want to get your money's worth out of it, don't you? Again, really nice one. So yeah, I'm happy with that. yeah, I do want to make that seashells. That's cute. I like the little scallopy edges of these as well, which are so cute. Like, look, little ice cream socks. Look at those. I may have to make those. Yeah. I'll make my cozy socks first. Then I'll go for summer ice creams in the middle of winter. That's normally how I do things. Yeah, so that's what I've brought. So I haven't brought loads, but you know, I've made some purchases. I do have a couple of things coming actually. So some things that I've ordered in advance. I've got another Camels yarn club coming, which was this one. So I've got next month's coming next week, I think. And then I think I've got a Pigment and Ply yarn club coming as well in the next couple of weeks. I think it's June. I know it's every 3 months, so I think it might be June. Yeah, so I think I've just got mini skeins of that one because, yeah, I know I'm getting it. So I thought I'd do the mini skeins of the Pigment and Ply because I'm getting a Pigment and Ply advent, and I thought that they might boost up the advent so I could make something really big out of it. So yeah, if you didn't know, I have purchased some advents moving forward, and I think I've got Pigment and Ply, Adventures in Yarncraft. So the Pigment and Ply one is pre-Raphaelite based. The Adventures in Yarncraft, sorry, brain fog. Adventures in Yarncraft is Jane Eyre, which I'm really looking forward to rereading, and I'm holding off so I can. Hello, can I match you to the yarn? You come in, come here. Right, let's move this way a bit so everyone can see. Sorry if my hand. There you go. Look. So if we cover the bottom, see? The thing is, he's many different colours, so I don't think it's quite bottom coloured. Maybe more tail. He's also got his summer coat, so he's going to be a bit gingery, aren't you? Hey, baby boy. So let me move this out your way and go. Yeah. Yeah, so he's a big squiggly pig. And you're a good boy. Yeah, so interesting story. When I brought him, he was cream coloured and a girl. When I say brought, my friend's cat had kittens, so we don't actually know who his dad was, and we had no idea he was Siamese, or we think it's Siamese, half Siamese, but we know he's half tabby, but he's either half Siamese or half ragdoll, and both those halves, like of the ragdoll Siamese kind, are quite high maintenance. So I thought I was getting a girl. I thought I was getting an English short, like just a mixed, you know, like kitty puss. Thought nice girl, cat, kitty puss friend. Boy. But you're a good boy though, aren't you? You're a good boy. Yeah. Yeah. He was 6 months old when we realised he was a boy. He was a bit of a late bloomer. And it was like right in my face. It's like, you're not a girl. Little fluffy Maltesers, aren't they? Yeah, I need some advice, some help. Men out there, non-binary, I need some help. And ladies who knit for men, or men that knit for men, I need some help, because I keep looking for men's pattern ideas. So if you didn't know, I have, for my husband's Christmas present, purchased him a advent by Crafty Bird 22 for based on His Dark Materials, which is one of my husband's favourite books of all time. He loves the series. He just absolutely gorgeous book. And oh, if you watch the BBC adaptation, like that end episode ruined me. But Crafty Bird is doing their advent on His Dark Materials, the BBC adaptation, and there's some beautiful colourways, the ideas that are coming out of that. Like, I can't wait to see the dust one. I'm so excited. But I really want to do my husband a colourwork jumper that will do that yarn justice and has that kind of vibe. So if you know of any colour work type patterns that have that kind of feel, I really like the kind of, I don't want it to have a massive theme, but I just want it to look a little bit like his dark materials, like, you know, the buildings, and like a little bit like how the Navelli colour work is, where it's a little bit more graphic, you know. I don't want anything like with foxes on or like that kind of thing, but something that has that kind of, if you know of that book and you know the vibe I'm thinking, I need something like that. I want something like that. Now, I know I will not be getting this advent till probably October, and but that's what I'd quite like to do. And yeah, so let me know what you think. Like, I thought Caitlin Hunter might be a good choice, but there isn't that many men patterns. They're all pretty, like, most designers like make one, maybe two patterns for men, and I need to find some really good male pattern wear designer kind of things. Male, like, they don't have to be male, but designers that make patterns for men's jumpers, because you know how often men ask us, our husbands ask us to knit them something. Like, the first thing I knit was for my husband. I made him a cow. But it was just like, and I wish I hadn't, because the colour choice that I did, like, it was a beautiful, like, I think it was Harrisville yarn with like orange specks in it, and then I put it with a purpley, dark purple mohair, because it was like, Harrisville is beautiful yarn, but it's itchy. So I put it with a mohair that I had, and my idea was that it's like the Fires of Mordor. I call it his Mordor cowl, and that was my plan for Christmas last year. And unfortunately, it kind of makes him look a bit like a not even a hipster. Do you know the Lonely Island? If you know the Lonely Island, it reminds me of of the song they did where the man gets excited a bit early. Regularly, and I can't remember the name of it, but the video is hilarious if you've watched it. Got that in my head now. And it even has like a Justin Timberlake cameo in it, which is just incredible. I love the Lonely Island. Anyway, it reminds me of them in that, and that's not what you want to think of when you see your husband. So I need to knit him something else. Yeah, so if you I digress, sorry. If I haven't got Llewellyn songs, Lubelin songs stuck in my head, or Bob's Burger songs in my head, I've got Lonely Island songs stuck in my head. Normally the Jack Sparrow. I do like the Jack Sparrow. Oh gosh, yeah, I've been talking for an hour. You can tell, but you know, this one's gonna be long because I haven't done one in a couple of weeks, and I've got to catch up with you guys because the last couple of podcasts I've been like, so I'm back. I'm happy, and we're moving forward. Okay, so two other things I wanted to touch base on. Something I really want to do is, now the weather's a bit nicer, I'm going out a bit more, you know, doing a bit of plodding around the country. Not plopping anywhere in the country, I'm sorry. Oh, I've got the giggles now. Are you coming back up? Distract me, because I've got giggles. That's it. Yeah, good boy. You good boy. Yeah. So, stop myself laughing. I'm going to talk about this little fact. Poppet has decided that his favourite food, his new favourite food, is blueberry muffins. Yes. I have checked, blueberries are fine with cats, and he doesn't have much. But I literally had a blueberry muffin the other day, and he was like a pterodactyl. He was just like, I just took a bite. So now he had, like, I save him a little bit if I have a blueberry muffin for breakfast. But it was just like, who knew? He's a bit weird like that. He doesn't like steal food unless it's like bakery based. It's just, he once stole a packet of, like, this very British thing. He is a very British cat. He stole a packet of crumpets once whilst I was sleeping, and he made himself sick on crumpets. Because I used to give him like a little bit of the crumpet, and he likes the butter and stuff. He just loved it. But he actually stole the crumpets whilst I was sleeping, and I found a half-eaten packet of crumpets in the bathroom, and he never went near a crumpet again. So we know it was him. It wasn't Kitty Puss. Yeah. So his new favourite food is blueberry muffins. Yeah. Let me know if your cat has any other, eats anything weird, because, yeah. That's a new one for me. Anyway, let's talk about knitting again. Okay, so I want to have a little bit of I want to go exploring this summer. I want to go and check out some places I haven't been to before. Our idea at the beginning of the year was to do lots of little road trips. We haven't really done that because of the op and stuff like that. So I want to visit some knitting shops. Now, if you own a knitting shop or know of a knitting shop in your local area which is accessible for a wheelchair, okay, so, and also if you have anything else in your shop to make it more accessible, say you've got braille, you've got one of those loop things, sorry I don't know the right name for that, or if you have other things you've put in place to make your shop more accessible for the disabled community, I want you to get in contact with me at neighsknits@gmail.com, and I will come visit you if it is possible, because UK it can take a while, and I am on the East Coast, so I will try and get to you. I'm hoping to visit a Modern Yarn at some point. I haven't let her know, but yeah, I'm hoping to visit, but that's in Liverpool and that's quite a way, so if I'm in that I need to kind of go in that area. Yeah, so I just want to start highlighting a few of the accessible shops around here, and or we can do it in a way, maybe if you send me footage if you're far away, and I can put it in the video. Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to yarn shop owners, and also to disabled business owners to do with knitting. So if you dye yarn and you're disabled and you would like a little bit of a shout out, or if you know, let me know and I will support you. I don't know of that many. I know of Adventures in Yarncraft because I've met them, and yeah, they're cool and I really like their yarn. So but yeah, let me know if you know of any disabled yarn business owners. I really want to support the community. Stitch and Bitch. So I will be sorting this out. I'm thinking of doing the Stitch and Bitch on a Thursday. I did a poll and people were saying Thursday evenings were the best. So I'm thinking of doing a Stitch and Bitch, probably do it live on YouTube, and we can just chat in the comments and stuff like that, and we can talk about stuff. So yeah, we can do that. I'm thinking 8th of June. It'll be 7 PM Greenwich Mean Time. But I thought it'd be really nice that everyone can meet each other, chat, you know, kind of thing like that. So if you like the idea of that, you know, I will set that up. What else? Yeah, I think that's the best way to do things. I was thinking Zoom, but, you know, who wants to Zoom after the pandemic? You know, nobody wants to do that. So I'm thinking I'll just do an Instagram live. You can ask me questions. We can chat away at the comments, and we can make a, you know, a fun. So if you don't know what Stitch and Bitch is, it's like a knitting club. So normally they're like held in pubs or local areas, and you just take your knitting and you just have a chat. So we can chat about knitting, we can chat about anything. We can chat about TV, we can chat about books, we can chat about, I don't know, anything you want, as long as you're nice. And it's not going to upset anyone. As long as we don't upset anyone and we're all welcoming and nice, you know, it doesn't hurt to be nice. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that on the 8th of June at 7 o'clock. So obviously I do have a energy limiting condition, so I will try and preserve as much of my energy as possible for that day, and hopefully it will go ahead. But because my condition, it can be a little bit flighty and it does what it wants, I will let you know as much as I can in advance if I can't do it. Okay, and then we'll just change it to a day or two after. But so yeah, I thought it'd be better to do it as a live instead of I would like to do a person, but I just want to make it as accessible as possible, so nobody has to pay to travel. We don't have to worry about the accessibility of the building, because oh my goodness, that is a thing. I have found somewhere that is disabled access. They have table lifts and they do have a disabled toilet. So maybe in the future we can do a meet-up, but at the moment I'd like to keep it on the camera, and just because I've got a lot on and I think it's much more accessible, and we can have everyone from around the world join. Yeah, so I think 7 o'clock's a good time because it's like the kids are in bed, you know, and America's awake, and you know, I think that would be a good time. I think a lot of viewers are American as well, so I think that would work out quite nicely. Yeah, so anything else? I think that's everything. So I've been chatting way too long now, so hopefully with an edit it will be under an hour, but you never know. Yeah, so thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for everyone's support during this time. It was a very unusual time, and yeah, 3 big life events happening in the space of a couple of weeks is not the one. Yeah, it's taken a bit out of me, but I'm getting there. I'd say I'm about at 80% now. So yeah, so keep going, keep fighting on. And yeah, thank you so much for people that have reached out to me. I'm sorry if I haven't answered anyone's comments on the previous podcast. As you can imagine, it's a very triggering podcast for me, and we miss her dearly. And yeah, we planted a peony with her, and it flowered the other day, and yeah, it was beautiful. Exactly what I thought. I was saying goodbye. Are you going to come and say goodbye? No, it's got cats on it. You can't. Maybe my plan was rubbish. It's got cats on it. You can't do anything to that. Oh, is that? Okay, I'm going to go because he's going to use the litter tray now. So, thank you for watching. Bye.